All right, everyone. Welcome back, QCA Wrestling family. We have lots of exciting things to talk about. I know it's been a while since we've been on the podcast with everyone, so we're looking forward to kicking off this year. We're going to talk a little bit about last year and a lot of big upcoming things that we got coming up this next year. But first, we want to introduce you to one of our new team members that just joined recently. So I would like to welcome Todd Thompson. You there, Todd?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm here.
All right. So everyone probably should know about Todd, but just a little background on Todd. 1998 grad from Moline High School, right? 2012 to 2015, he took over the head wrestling coach at Moline High School. 2015, he moved into the Augie assistant coach role. And then through that process, too, of that 2015, there was like a 5-year span that you're one of the coaches for the freestyle and Greco Illinois team. And I believe during that time period, they won Fargo multiple times, 4 or 5 times, correct?
Yeah, at least. It was a pretty impressive run from Illinois there for a while.
Yep, and they continue it on. But yeah, Todd, why don't you kind of talk to us a little bit, give us a heads up on, your background, your experience, and what you're going to be able to bring to our team that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, I look forward to expanding the coverage a little bit onto the Illinois side. I know both you and Rob have Iowa ties and Iowa background, so you guys have tried hard, but maybe not the knowledge base on the Illinois side that you have in Iowa. So hopefully I can bring that knowledge base and get some coverage for multiple of the Illinois schools, the Western Big Six for sure, and even expanding a little bit outside of that for some of our top teams.
Yeah, Todd,
that's great.
Yeah, I know we're excited to have you join the team. Definitely our knowledge in Illinois is lacking, so we appreciate your knowledge, and not only a lot of it from Illinois, but just wrestling knowledge in general. You're going to be a massive asset, I think, to the QCA Wrestle coverage. So yeah, we appreciate you joining.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. So Todd, actually, throw you a little curveball. So those national teams that you coached, name drop for us a little bit. Any big names that went through while you were involved in that program?
As far as the local area, Darius Jones won a national championship while he was out there in freestyle. Took runner-up in Greco to Stam Stoll. So he had a good run while he was out there for Moline. There was Daniel Taranes was out there. He did well in both styles a lot. Josh Bush, who both those guys are at Augie, he was out there at Fargo. Trenton Jackson, All-American, out there when he qualified for Fargo for Moline. So I had a bunch of kids from my high school team that were we pushed freestyle and Greco pretty hard when I was there. We had quite a few qualifiers, so it was a good run. Some of the bigger names that other people might know, like an Austin Gomez, he was out there, Kamal Bay, and all those guys that are doing big things now on probably the college and even the Olympic level. So it was Joe Ralph, he was out there. So some big guys on those teams, and obviously if you're winning national championships consistently, you got some real monsters. Isaiah White, just some couple. When Oak Park was going through their big run of being like number 1 in the country, then they had a ton of guys out there winning Fargo titles. So.
Sure. And Jake kind of alluded to this too. So Illinois is a traditional Fargo powerhouse. This year was kind of a fun one, especially for us living here in right near Illinois. Obviously, Quad Cities were Iowa and Illinois. Iowa won but Iowa won the junior national dual tournament, and then Illinois won. They won both styles in Greco, right? Or in Fargo.
Yeah, for junior.
Yeah. I'm talking about the age group that matters. No, I'm just kidding. They all matter. But yeah, for the junior level. Yeah.
Yes. Junior level, Illinois won both out at Fargo.
Yeah. So pretty darn cool. Really cool for our local wrestlers for sure, being involved in those teams. Like Jay mentioned, we want to do a quick recap. So anyone who followed closely knows most of this information, but it's always fun to hear, what happened anyway. And for anybody who's just joining in our coverage, they may not know a lot of this. So, but first of all, we know coronavirus is still going on. While the coronavirus pandemic did what it could to throw chaos our way, we were lucky enough to pretty much get, in Illinois, it was definitely detoured, but we got pretty much a full season in Iowa. Pretty awesome first year, I'll say, from a QCA Wrestle standpoint. We loved it. We want to thank all of our supporters, from our followers, the athletic directors we work with, the coaches, the parents, and of course the wrestlers. We want to thank everybody for your support, and we look forward to continuing to build this coverage in the area. But anyway, so real quick recap. So last year in Iowa, the Quad City, Iowa teams we had 3 state champs. So Bettendorf had the 3. Dustin Bourne won 126. Bradley Hill won the 220 bracket, and then Griffin Little won the 285 bracket. Illinois had a little different situation. They didn't have a standard IHSA tournament, but they had an IWCOA tournament this year. And Moline had 3 champs there as well. So Cole Brower won 138. I believe. I'm going to throw a little bit this your way, Todd. Did Brower, I think he was 38. Is that right? Or 32?
32.
32.
132, yeah.
And then Noah Tapia was a state champ as well at 45?
He was up at 38.
Okay. And then DJ, I know this one. DJ Parker won 182-pound bracket. So a lot of success there for the Illinois teams as well. Geneseo coach John Murray went over 300 career dual meet wins this year. So that's exciting. I don't know where he ended up, but it's over 300 now, which is incredible.
Great guy, running a good program over there too. So really looking forward to see what else he's going to be putting on the mat the next year. Yeah,
absolutely. A couple awards. So actually this first one's nominees. So Bettendorf's Bradley Hill, North Scott's Joey Peterson, Bettendorf's Griffin Little, and Bettendorf's Ella Schmidt were all QC Time Athlete of the Year nominees this season. They end up giving it to a non-wrestler, which I don't understand at all how a non-wrestler would be the best. With Bradley Hill winning the Iowa side of QC Times Wrestler of the Year, and DJ Parker was the QC Times Illinois Wrestler of the Year. So pretty cool for those guys. Ella Schmidt won the Dan Gable Miss Wrestler of the Year award. Keaton Zymet won the IBA Student Athlete Achievement Award, demonstrating that he's more than just a stud wrestler. It's also about the academics, right? So he did that while breaking just about every Central DeWitt wrestling record possible. So awesome career from him. Anything I'm missing, guys? Can you think of any big highlights? That's sort of the folk style season recap that I can think of locally anyway.
Yeah, the only thing I know, we had a kind of unconventional, now that we went to a Western Big Six tournament this year. Where the year before, actually, we went to a tournament, and then this year with COVID, we had no tournaments in Illinois at all. So we had to go back to the duels. The Moline Geneseo duel that we ended up covering, we did our podcast, our coverage on that. That ended up being the Western Big Six Conference Championship duel. So that was awesome that we were able to get out there and cover that one for those guys. So Coach Rudiger won his first conference championship since his first year. He went first and then kind of second, third, and now back on top. So it's a good run for him. And I think moving forward, it'll be probably a Moline Geneseo Rock Island competition for quite a while, until hopefully we get some other teams in the battle. But there will be a tournament planning, hopefully, next year again. So we'll get away from the duels and go back to a tournament setting.
Last year, not having tournaments was kind of a bummer, but they got some season. So we're happy about that. But on the college side, in this one, I didn't do as much research as I could have. So if you guys have any additions, feel free. But one big one, Julian Broderson was a starter for Iowa State all season. Central DeWitt's Ira Kuhn placed third at D3 Nationals for Luther. A big one here, North Scott's Wyatt Reed was a D3 national champ for Loris, which is pretty damn incredible. What else? What else are we missing from the college side, guys? Anything?
Just excited to bring Ambrose on board. Hopefully we'll be able to get down there and check out their new facility soon. Also, we didn't reach out, but congratulations to Tony, a newborn girl, and I think they just brought her home last week. So
Tony Willard, coach of Augustana. Yep. Congrats.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations.
Some more on the college side, but it's the high schoolers going to college. So we're gonna miss some, but these are the big ones that I know for sure. Charlie Farmer is headed to wrestle at West Point. DJ Parker is headed to North Dakota State University to wrestle. Brian Caves from Riverdale is headed to Central Michigan. Kale Brisker, I put this one in here because Kale Brisker, well, not only an awesome kid, but I'm a little jealous. So Kale Brisker is headed to Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida. So next wrestling season, while we're all here cold and dealing with the winter weather, he's going to be in the Florida sunshine. That's awesome.
Good for him.
Logan Adamson is headed to Loris. Logan Adamson from Bettendorf headed to Loris. Travis Hodges of Davenport West is headed to Iowa Wesleyan. We have several local kids headed to Augustana, including Jack Padding from Alleman. He's going to wrestle and play football there, so that'll be fun to follow. And then also, like Jay mentioned, brand new program starting up at St. Ambrose. Coach Bo Bentonson is put together a good coaching staff, and he's putting together a good roster. A lot of local kids, two big names coming in, actually some transfers. Matt Robertson from Davenport Assumption, and then he started off at Grandview. He's coming back home to wrestle for the Fighting Bees, and so is Moline's Jaden Taranas. So it'd be really cool to watch those guys locally here. Yep.
And we have another kid from Geneseo joining Augustana as well. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
Clay DeBailey.
Thank you.
DeBailey.
Yes.
Yep.
DeBailey. Yeah. Yep. So that's exciting. And we're probably missing some, but we got a lot of local kids in college wrestling rooms for sure. So that's exciting.
A big class that this year moving on. Usually we'd have 2-3 names that we give out. I mean, I don't know how many you listed off there, but that's more than a handful. And really excited to see these kids at next level, including kids that have gone in the past that we'll be following as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And just the fact that they're staying local, I mean, that's so important for our area of wrestling. I mean, that Augustana and St. Ambrose have done a great job of keeping our local talent local right now. So I think that's important.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool to see. More to come. We'll get we have on our website a college tracker. We haven't updated it for a little while, but we'll get that updated and more information out in the near future on college roster updates. But very cool to see so many names, like you guys said. So exciting stuff. Okay, my last recap here is off-season highlights. So first I want to ask, I know we've talked about this several times on our show, on our podcast, but off-season wrestling, we've heard the term summer wrestling makes winter champions. Todd, you mentioned a lot of success with Team Illinois, and you were on that staff for a while. How have you approached off-season wrestling traditionally with the teams that you've been involved in?
We usually will continue straight in after after the state series. My teams were always pretty eager to get back on the mat. They would be contacting me, with that group I had with the Darius and Daniel and Trenton and a lot of those guys. They were ready to, okay, we're ready for freestyle now. And it's a nice little mix up, obviously different style. So, and then Illinois has their freestyle state tournament is like early in May. So you got to get going pretty soon after your state series. Get going, get training. And it's the Illinois freestyle state tournament, in my opinion, is probably one of the toughest tournaments like in the country, because you got to finish top 2 to automatic qualify, and it's all classes combined. So there's no classification. It's state champ versus state champ most of the time in the finals. It's actually a fun tournament to go to. But we'd get them going right away. We enjoyed doing the Greco tournaments a lot also. So, and then we get them out to training camp and get going. We probably wouldn't take after Fargo probably a month and a half off, and around September they'd be knocking at the door again. Hey coach, can we start opening the mat? So I guess it kind of depends on the kids, as long as they're wanting to get in there. But I had a great group, so it was easy for me to let's start training again. So we didn't take a whole lot of time off.
Okay. And actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the offseason highlights, but I made an error earlier. So we had another state champ that I did not recognize. Bendorf's Ella Schmidt won her second Iowa girls state championship this past season as well. So congrats on that one. But what you're going to notice, so I mentioned our local state champs, right? Dustin Bourne, Bradley Hill, Griffin Little, Cole Brower, DJ Parker, Noah Tapia. When I go through these off-season accolades and highlights, you're going to notice those names being brought up again because of what we just said. If you want to do well in the winter season, this is what it takes, is to put in mat time, to get in the room during the off-season. So I say that, and then I'm going to go into the highlights. So one really cool thing, Eric Juergens of Young Guns brought a local team of Young Guns to Virginia Beach for the NHSCA national duels. 167 teams were in that tournament. This local team from Young Guns placed in the top 8, which is incredible. I think that's the best. I think that's the best we've ever done out there with a local team. So pretty awesome.
I would agree. I've been putting together some teams to go out there for years, and always kind of 1 or 2 matches away from getting into that Monday duel, or those placing matches. And they had a great squad this year, and actually probably would have placed even a little higher, but ran into the Young Guns PA team there. So Young Guns Black, and so it was Jody versus Eric there in one of those duels. So that was interesting. But it was placing top 8 out there is very, very impressive for any team.
Just curious, Todd, as a spectator, what was it like seeing Jody and Eric coach against each other?
It's funny because they both have the same mentality of, like, one time that there was a call, and I think it was Tapia's match, and they were like, well, we have to review it, and they both agreed on the call, but the ref's like, well, if you want me to change it, we have to review it. And they're like, well, we don't want to waste that time to review it. So, and then they had to go through it. You could hear them talking about it on camera. It was kind of comical. But they looked over and they're like, yeah, we both agree that wasn't one, or it was. And so it's they're pretty laid back when they coach against each other, but they're competitors and they want to win too.
Yeah, absolutely. That was fun. That was a fun one to watch. A couple others. So Mullins Cole Brower got first place in his bracket at the USA Wrestling recruiting showcase in Iowa City, beating 5 state champs along the way. Bradley Hill of Bettendorf was runner-up at Folk Style Nationals and at the UWW World Team Trials this offseason. And then that kind of leads us to the big one. The big culmination is Fargo, right? So in Fargo, Ella Schmidt was a Fargo All-American, and then big Fargo for the Moline guys. Todd, I'll throw this one to you. Do you want to talk through the Moline Fargo experience?
Absolutely. We had 3 guys go out there, really close to bringing home for those 3, really close to bringing home 6 plaques. We had the two losses that didn't get plaques. They lost in the blood round of huge brackets, but Cole Brower, All-American in freestyle, and then Noah Tapia, All-American in Greco, and then DJ Parker, double All-American in freestyle and Greco, winning a Fargo Greco national championship. So it was pretty good series for the Moline guys.
Absolutely. It was fun to watch. It's fun to watch. And like I said, all the names we just talked about, these are our state champions from the winter season. So young guns here in the Quad Cities, Agogi here in the Quad Cities. There's another one, Pac 3. Oh, what is it? They're going to kick my butt.
737.
732, I think. Pac 732. Out near a lot of the Wilton and Durant kids are in that club. There's a lot of other ones. The moral of the story, get in the room, find a good partner. Most of these guys who are wrestling in the off season just want to wrestle. If you want to get better, find one of these guys on Instagram, whatever, send them a message. Hey, I'd like to practice with you. They're all kids who would be willing to do that, I think. So get on the mat. That's how you get better. And let's continue to grow wrestling here in the Quad Cities. It's fun to watch.
It was definitely probably one of the most successful summers that I've seen around the Quad Cities for a while.
So that's what I've got, guys. Anything you can think of? I mean, it was a fun season, fun first year for us from a QCA Wrestle perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, we've grown a lot in our knowledge, just like wrestling. Us as, QCA Wrestle, I think we've grown a lot in our knowledge of what we need to do to improve. And I think it's going to be exciting going forward to see what our next steps are going to be, as QCA Wrestle continues to grow, as we get more coverage out there, the whole 9 yards. So it was an incredible season. It was a challenging season. I don't think any of us are going to lie about that, but it was an incredible season, and a lot of other big things going to be coming.
So speaking of big things coming, two more things. Sorry. I thought this was cool, and this was because we had some awesome sponsors along the way. We were able to give away a Iowa Hawkeye fire pit, which was awesome. I still haven't been invited to go to a party there, but that's okay.
And where'd that come from?
That was from Premier Metal Art. Premier Metal Art in Eldridge. Big sponsor for us this past season. We appreciate the support, and they make such cool stuff. If you haven't seen some of their stuff through our page, scroll down or go through our pictures on the QCA Wrestle Facebook page. You can also check them out. They're all over. They've got Facebook, Premier Metal Art, Facebook as well. But any kind of thing you can think of, any kind of sign, anything you can think of, they can make for you. So
they can be made of metal. They got it there. We got incredible mugs from them. Lots of really cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to meeting with them again this fall, I hope. Yeah,
absolutely. And then bags. So we all like playing bags. It's a lot of fun. We showed, there's a video, if you guys didn't see it yet, of me and Jay sinking some trick shots. It was like another day in the office, really, for us. But we couldn't miss, and that's another reason we brought Todd in, because I heard he's a ringer in bags.
Well, I'll tell you, we had during travel camp, myself and Brett Kennan, we had one heck of a match versus Rudiger and Jody Strip Matter, and came down to the end, and Brett Kennan sunk 4 in a row for the victory. So we are the current travel camp defending champions right now, I will say.
That's exciting. I'm only good at trick shots, really. I'm not as good in a tournament setting, unfortunately. But if ESPN wants to do like a trick shot thing, I'm in.
So that board set, we gave away a beautiful board set from Bud's Boards, right? And I think that's in Eldridge right now. The Gephardt family. Yeah, that's right. Yep. So Bud's Boards and Bags from Sterling, Illinois, helped us out and made that set, and it was an awesome set. Best bag set I've ever seen. It had our logo, QCA Wrestle logo on it. It's very, very cool. It was hard to give that one away. I wanted to keep that. But yeah, thanks to Bud's Boards and Bags. You can check them out on Facebook as well. We've got, actually, Jay and I both have a personal set from them as well. Mine has the Bettendorf logo on one and the Iowa Hawkeye logo on the other. Jay's got a really cool Z on his. I know I've seen yours too, and it's very cool stuff. So we're talking about all the great sponsors we have too, Rob. We can't leave out Godfathers, man. Remember on Geneseo, we had that pizza guy. All three of us are out there enjoying a pizza on the sidelines. Also, they represented and sponsored our Wrestler of the Week, right?
Yeah. Quad City. Godfathers Pizza, QCA. They're in a new building over in Silvis now. They sponsored the Wrestler of the Week, Godfather's Pizza Wrestler of the Week, and our wrestlers who won that got a certificate for free large pizza. So hopefully they've all cashed in. If not, now's the time. No one's cutting weight right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, Godfathers has always been a huge supporter of Quad City Wrestling. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Another big sponsor we want to thank is Quint Cities Restoration. So if you have any home improvement type needs, I know there was a pretty big windstorm the other day, any roofing, siding, any kind of repairs like that, Quint Cities Restoration, great supporter of wrestling in general and here in the Quad Cities as well. So thank you to them for their support, and make sure you get a hold of them if you need any roofing or anything like that. So another one of my favorite places to go eat, the Tangled Wood. We were just there the other night, had a nice meal there. So
yes, great food, cold beer, incredible environment, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. I enjoyed both.
A couple of quick ones out in the DeWitt area, the Family Tree and DeWitt Cleaners, and then MJ's East Convenience Store, a couple local businesses. Check them out if you're in the area, and thank you to both of them for their support last season as well. And then another big one here, GT Sports. All of our apparel has been through GT Sports. We really appreciate AJ and the crew out there working with us. Check them out for any of your apparel needs. I know I've sent a few other clubs out that way. They do a great job and quick. I mean, quick and easy. And we appreciate their support for sure.
Incredible stuff out there. And if you need it, they pretty much have it there. So, I mean, from Letterman jacket to baseball gear, any sport you can think of, they got the gear for you.
Yep. And Tim Hernandez with eXp Realty supporter as well. Thank you, Tim. Any sort of realty needs, I know Tim's your guy. I've always thought about him anyway in that regard, but he's also not only a great guy, a big supporter of local wrestling, and very good to work with.
Yeah, thank you to everyone.
All right. And hey, we can't forget big sponsors that we had over in the Illinois coverage this last year, Moline versus Rock Island, Dorn Trucking. Them guys really helped out, stepped up, got a nice package, gift package, giveaway as a reward to one of our fans, as well as sponsoring us and helping us bring that coverage to everyone in Illinois this year.
Yep. And finally, Custom Fit Personal Training in Bettendorf, Iowa. Awesome gym, awesome trainers. Go check them out. Big supporters of local wrestling. One of their owners is actually going to be on he is on the St. Ambrose coaching staff as well, Aaron Bartles. So Chad Owens, Aaron Bartles, great personal trainers. I've been working with them for a while. My results from day one to not good at all to now, still not good, but a whole heck of a lot better than I was, are very noticeable. Anyway, I'm going to keep working with those guys, and by this winter, you're going to see me. I'll be me and Todd will be a lot closer in size than we are today. So
incredible guys out there, and they got incredible facilities too. So if you're looking for your youth to get developed, get stronger, speed, strength, conditioning, they got it out there, and they got a good plan they'll put together for your kids as well as yourself.
Yeah. And one really cool thing there. So this was kind of funny how it happened. So I noticed they had these banners, right? Like all these colleges, the banners up on the wall. And I was like, hey, you know what would be cool? They only had a couple that when I said this, would be cool is if you like every kid that you trained, when they go to college somewhere, if they go play sports at that college, you put their banner up there. They're like, yeah, Rob, that's what we're doing. And they just hadn't put up the other boxes of banners that they had yet. So now it's like 2 walls full of all these college athletes that they trained and still train many of them. So it's very cool. It's cool. I know my youngest, he's going into 6th grade, has been working out there since March, and it's funny, but you talk about confidence. He's gotten a lot stronger for sure and faster. Like they're working everything with him there. But right here, because he's put in that extra time, he already knows he's going to do better in all of his sports. He's like, Dad, he feels good. He spends time in the gym and he feels good. He looks good. It's funny because a lot of times he'll like walk around after and like flexing, and it's pretty cool seeing that transformation for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure too, we have all these sponsors listed on our website. So if anybody needs a direct link to check any of those places out, they can go to our Facebook page or our website and get a direct link to where you can get hooked up with some good service.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, what's next, Jay? What's to come?
And I guess what's to come the next year? I mean, big movement this past year. What's going to happen now, guys? So I think number one, man, we're gonna increase our equipment. We're gonna increase our personnel we got. Let's get out there and let's do some more live streaming, huh?
Yeah, and live streams are awesome. Last year we wanted to do it anyway, but last year with COVID, the seating, right, the audience was really limited. So doing live streams was almost a necessity. We want to keep doing that. That was a lot of fun. People really enjoyed that. So we're gonna try to do more this year. We did quite a bit last year, but we want to do better. We want to do more. So
yeah, I know I enjoyed it when I was a guest host with you guys, and we got tons of feedback just for people that couldn't be there. Maybe they had something that came up and they couldn't be at the actual meet. It was a great opportunity for them to still follow along and and support their team. So it was amazing, and I look forward to doing as many as I can.
Yep, they're fun. So another one, which this is one of them, more podcasts. So last year when we kicked off, we were right in the middle of COVID or really close to the beginning, I suppose. And we had all kinds of time. Our time has, we don't have as much free time as we did early on in COVID. So if you've been following us, you notice our podcast frequency has definitely waned. We're going to get back to regular podcasts. We decided we're gonna kind of commit to making sure at least every other week there's a new episode out, so we can keep that rolling.
So a couple things we talked about on that too, Rob, is one of the things we want to do with these podcasts, and we want to touch bases. Some of our local wrestlers that we have, you'd mentioned some of our legacies. We want to capture their stories before they leave this earth, with them stories with us. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the past champions and a lot of the studs we have in our community that a lot of us don't even know about. So one of the things we're going to do is find them guys. We're going to have nice talks with them. We're also going to find some local retired wrestlers and where are they now, and how did wrestling make them better people or better businessmen and women.
Yep. I think we can do a quick shout out. So Wrestling Changed My Life is a podcast. Ryan Warner lives in Chicago now, but he's a QC native.
Yes, Tennessee man.
I've been telling him he needs to come up here and catch a meet. I'm hoping maybe he will this year. I told him an awesome one to find or to make it to is November 1st. St. Ambrose is going to kick off their inaugural season against Augustana. Like what better reason to come to the Quad Cities than that? So, but
yeah, he does an amazing job. That podcast. I know I listened to the Smiths that he did, and it was very impressive, very professional. It had to be enjoyable for him. Obviously, interviewing probably one of the, if not the best, freestyle wrestler ever to come out of the United States. So he that had to be very fun. He did an amazing job.
Yeah, he does a great job. I agree. And so what we're gonna do is kind of not steal, but borrow some of his ideas. And like Jay said, some of our local business people in the community, how did wrestling affect them? How did it change their lives? Right. So we think that's an amazing idea, and we want to help continue that conversation, I guess.
Yep. Yeah. And if anyone's ever looking for a great podcast, it would be, what is it? How'd wrestling change my life, right?
It's wrestling changed my life. Yeah.
Wrestling changed my life. Yep. So an incredible fun podcast. He's a great speaker and incredible guest that he's had.
Yeah, I think the first one I ever listened to, and it's because I'm a humongous fan, being local community here, was Dan Knight. I think Dan Knight was early on, maybe I'm going to make it up. I'm going to say episode 5 of the Wrestling Changed My Life podcast. That was the first one I ever listened to, and I've listened to almost every one since. So very cool.
So what else do we got coming up this next year, guys?
I know I'm looking forward to like expanding into, like I said, Illinois a little bit, and hopefully we can get these a lot of the head coaches on board with maybe, compiling some rankings and including them into like a quad city ranking type thing. And even some leaderboard stuff, maybe once a week or once every other week, we can do a quad city leaderboard on whatever categories that we choose, the top 5 categories. But just to showcase some of our talent and how they stack up against one another during their season. So I think that'll be something that'll be it'll be fun for the fans, and maybe even a little competition between the kids. They see that they're one fall behind somebody else from across the river, then maybe they'll do a little work to make sure that they put that next kid away. So I think that'll be exciting to bring to the page, and I think it'll be fun for the fans and the wrestlers. So that'll be good stuff.
Yes, I'm gonna look forward to that too, because being a wrestling geek, them stats, and they add up, and it gives us the small details of who's going to be the wrestler we're going to want to watch come postseason.
Yep. I think it's a cool idea, and I'm looking forward to that big time.
Yeah, and even during our podcast and during our matches that we're going to put out there, that just gives the fans right there those key matchups that they're going to want to see, and hopefully they get to see. Everybody knows kind of how high school wrestling works. They might bump away or bump to or do whatever, but there should be some pretty exciting matchups throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Another cool thing we did last year, this one we stole. I shouldn't use stole. We borrowed. I actually messaged the guy to make sure he was cool with it. SE Wrestle. So this SE Wrestle is based out of the southeast region of the United States. He covers all of those states, really, from a high level: Georgia, Florida, the Carolinas. He does a really good job. I saw him doing it's weekly hammers. So it's who in his area performed, and it's not always the best wrestler. Sometimes it's just somebody who performed, amazing, who is like overperformed that week. So I thought that was a really fun thing we did last year. We every week we picked one per weight class. We'll have to determine if we do the same or if we change it up a little bit, but we'll have some kind of weekly hammer feature for sure.
Awesome.
And just keep in mind to all of our wrestlers, it's not only what you do on the mat, it's what you do off the mat. It's, what you do in the school. It's what kind of leader you are for your team as well. And some of that could be, sometimes you may be getting beat, but if you don't give up that pin, your team gets a big win. So every little bit makes a difference. So never give up and be that hammer.
Yep. Team previews. We did some last year. This is where we've dropped the boat a little bit going into Illinois. Our coverage there wasn't what we wanted. So that's why one of the reasons why we're making a little adjustment. But the meet your team, the team previews type thing. We're looking forward to that. We're hoping. COVID made it tough last year, and of course we've got this going on again now. But we're hoping to get into the rooms and do some interviews a little more often, leading up to the season this year as well.
Also, I think what we're going to be looking forward to, Rob and Todd, is now that we have Todd in our team, we're going to be able to jump and get coverage on both state tournaments. Ironically, or however it fell, a lot of times state tournaments would be going on at the same time with Iowa and Illinois. So now that we got a little more personnel, let's shoot someone on both sides, and let's get as much information, live time information to our viewers as possible. I think we're going to have a lot of guys out there wrestling this year.
We will. So,
and gals.
Yep.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to the IHSA state tournament, getting down there again. And, you know, just in this area alone, we have schools in all 3 divisions. So we have tons of individual success within the Class A, Class 2A, and Class 3A divisions. So just to be able to get down there and, you know, get some maybe right after their big match interviews and things like that for the fans and updates. I know sometimes it's even track wrestling. Some people don't get on there and follow along with the IHSA state tournament. So just to get them, you know, updates right away and different things for our local kids. Cause it is something that has kind of went away from the Illinois side of the media. So I'm looking forward to making sure that gets brought back to where it was at one time.
Yep. I love that. That's exciting stuff. Our plan is to do some live coverage of our area college teams. So last year, obviously we had Augustana. We want to step up our game in covering those guys this upcoming year. And then this year we've got St. Ambrose joining as well. So we plan to be a lot more engaged with those programs, make sure we give, you know, some updates and coverage their way as well as potentially, we don't know the streaming status yet, but we may be able to jump in and stream a couple of their meets. Maybe we'll find out.
And when's that big duel coming up, Rob?
November 1st is the big local awesome. So they're going to wrestle twice a season. Augie and St. Ambrose will, but the first one ever, I suppose, is November 1st, and it's going to be at St. Ambrose. That's
going to be exciting. So let's pack that gym. I'd love to see a big rivalry going on between, you know, 2 river border teams.
Absolutely. And then another one, which we had last year, it just hasn't been updated for a while, is what college teams have local wrestlers on them. We'd like to. We're planning on upping our game a little bit on the college coverage as well, because there's a whole lot of kids from our area that are out there working their butts off, and we want to make sure we highlight some of that as well.
And like Todd mentioned earlier, it's quite an impressive list, and it's going to be a large list of wrestlers that you're going to see over there. So looking forward to that. Now, Todd, I know Todd's going to be excited about the next item we're going to be bringing this next year, and hopefully he doesn't cherry pick a teammate, but we're talking about a bags tournament, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, my defending champ lives in Reno, so Nevada. So he's probably not going to fly in for that. But yeah, the bags tournament that should be an exciting event for us. Everybody that I know has at least, you know, messed around and played bags for cookouts or whatever. So it'll be fun. It'll be an exciting way to get everybody together and have a good event. And I'm sure I'll have a decent partner. We'll see.
And I bet we could probably come up with another set of bag boards for that too, huh, Rob?
I think there's a good chance we could. Yeah, maybe the winning team. Well, that's the tough part, is if the winning team doesn't live in the same house, you can't split a bag board set. But we'll have to figure that one out.
Just have to wrestle off for it. That's how it works in wrestling, right?
Yeah. I want to be Jurgen's partner then. I want to be.
You won't get your bag boards, Rob.
You're not very good at bags.
No, he'll just beat you in the wrestle off. That's what I was going to suggest to Todd to maybe pick up Jody Strittmatter. You know, he's pretty good at the bags too, but you know, he wouldn't win that wrestle off either. Although I heard he had a good wrestle off once with Spencer Lee.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get into that. Spencer lives too close to us now for me to tell a story that was a slight fib.
That's another day to come, everyone. So what else do we got going on, Rob?
Another cool idea I think will be a lot of fun is we're going to do a trivia night this winter. So we're going to look for And I know there's one every year, usually right around Christmas time, like a dead week, like an off week where there's not competition in Iowa. Does Illinois usually have a dead week too, Todd, or?
They do not, but during that week, or we're on Christmas break during that dead week usually.
Oh, okay.
For Iowa, so that at least helps with some timing. Obviously, you're not running into late practices or anything like that. So, but no, they do not have an official dead week in Illinois.
Okay. So it'll be sometime around the Christmas time. We're starting to plan it now, but yeah, we want to do a trivia night, kind of a cool way to kind of a little bit of a cool networking thing, but then also when there's not, I know last year during the dead week, I was kind of bored. There was no wrestling to cover. So let's do a little trivia. Maybe have a couple of your favorite drinks and
have some wrestling questions in there too.
Yep. And I might do well at those. That might be the only category that I can really score in, but
yeah, trivia is definitely not my forte, but I'll just pick one person from each category at my table. I think I'll be all right. We'll see.
There you go. All right. So guys, the last thing, the last big planning we've got going is the QCA Clash is the name we're coming up with, right? So we're going to put on an Iowa versus Illinois dual meet this fall. We're looking at November 6th as the date. We'll have a venue. We'll announce more details soon, but November 6th, QCA Clash, Iowa versus Illinois. Which state's the king of the Quad Cities?
I love it, man. And we got to see the singlets that are in already. They are so awesome. And these guys get to keep them singlets and stuff. So it's going to be a blast. And some, potential matchups that we could have between Iowa versus Illinois. Oh, it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I know, just looking at some potential matchups, it's like, wow, this is something for the fans for sure. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're very excited. We'll be sending out, we'll have like social media posts real soon on if you're interested in wrestling, how to get a hold of us. But yeah, we're looking to put together the best matchups we possibly can versus Iowa versus Illinois, and yeah, see who comes out on top. That'll be awesome. Yep.
We're going to open it up, let fans come in and let them see some of the best wrestling and what I call the two of the strongest states in the Midwest, right? So let's get after it on Western Illinois, Eastern Iowa. Let's see what we got, guys.
Yep. It's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to it. That kind of wraps up most of the episode. So one thing worth noting, if anybody watching or anybody's following along, we are always interested in more help. So if anybody wants to contribute in any way, if you have any ideas, if we're missing something in our rankings or in one of our lists that you notice an omission, let us know. You can email us. I'll put our email is up here on the screen, so you can get a hold of us easily that way, or just drop a comment if you want. Anyway, really, there's a lot of ways to get a hold of us. So
yep. And once again, thank you to all of our sponsors. I mean, we can't do this without our sponsors and without the backing of them people, because as we found out this last year, this is a very expensive hobby, and we're not making a profit on this. We are just giving this information back to our public. All three of us have day jobs that we do and families that we take care of, but this is just a hobby that we love doing, and without them sponsors, I don't think it's possible.
Well, I just want to say I look forward to joining the team. I think it's going to be an awesome season. Hopefully all of our local coaches will get, jump on board and do some of the little things that will help promote our side and bring us to a little bit higher level. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Love it. Great points, Todd.
All right. Well, I guess, guys, if there's nothing else, thanks again, Todd, for joining. Thanks, Jay, as always. And thank you to everybody tuning in, and we will talk again soon.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this podcast with your friends. Give us a like and a follow on Facebook and Twitter at QCA Wrestle. And keep an eye out for more QCA wrestling content coming soon.